All right, so the blue-red flash deck's been running around. I think it's super reasonable. These mix of counter spells are excellent against all of the Yorion decks running around. Frostbite and Bonecrusher Giant give you a lot of play against both rogues and the adventure decks. I've done the incredibly innovative thing of shoving 2 copies of Embercleave into my red deck. I know that will shock and amaze you, but this card's really good, believe it or not, and just like in every other deck that plays Embercleave, playing some copies of Embercleave in this deck lets you steal and win games that you have no business winning. Just, strapping this to a Brazen Borrower or a Dragon or a Sudden Storm all works out real well. I'm playing a couple copies of Sudden Storm. The Shark Typhoons had felt really underwhelming. It's possible this is worse than Shark Typhoon, but I wanna play some games with it and see how it feels. It blocks a little bit better. One thing that's nice about Sudden Storm as well is that post-board he notably does not die to Storm's Wrath, which was relevant in a few spots. So let's play some blue-red flash, huh? Sailor Dark, thanks for the 27 months. Welcome back. I appreciate it. Bro, DM Joey, thank you for the 11 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. You brought me lunch. Thank you, oldest son. You're great. Thank you, Jacob. I have to tell you, chat, the children being old enough to fetch and deliver things is definitely the biggest quality of life upgrade you experience as a parent. Go there, bring me that thing. All right, I'm gonna mute myself while I eat. feel like we were dead enough there. Dead or near enough. Stroke's real bad here. I think we board out the Saw It Coming since they're not super resource efficient. I think I just want more cards that play to the board. Is melee good enough? It probably isn't. I don't think it's worth sacrificing a land to kill most of their threats. Shredded Sails kills a small number of things. Soul Sear isn't particularly resource efficient, but I think it's worth bringing in here. Is Cleave needed to beat through your hand? Cleave's just a good card. It just kills people and wins you games that you wouldn't be winning otherwise. We just trim on the card draw. You don't want to. This is only exiles opponent's graveyards, right? Poop. Leave in one Behold. I'm prioritizing using Shredded Sails here, as opposed to the Frostbite for the sake of resource efficiency. Killing their flyers pretty important for being able to get Brazen Borrower down. I don't know what Glimpse of Freedom does. I also don't know if that's a card that... if I'm also... So, like... Yeah, someone pull me the text on Glimpse of Freedom. I also don't know that that's necessarily... So, one of the things you need to understand is that just because you lose a game doesn't mean you need to automatically change your deck. You shouldn't knee-jerk make cuts and changes to your deck every time you lose a game or a match. Especially after we lose a game like that last game we just played, where we literally just didn't have a color of mana and played no spells and conceded. And the couple of cards that we had that we could play didn't line up well. If we play the Rogue matchup a bunch, and you conclude that Rogue seems hard, having a way to manage your graveyard might be a good way to approach the matchup. But I don't know if managing the graveyard is the axis that we care about. I haven't played the matchup, so I don't know. One, I don't know if this matchup is bad, and two, if it is bad, I don't know why it's bad. So those are the two questions you have to ask yourself when you're building a deck. One, do I have a problem? And two, what is the problem that I'm having and how do I solve it? So I think I'm actually just going to take the pass here, and I was just going to Storm's Wrath this, but then we drew the Dragon. All right, I'm just going to play the Dragon. And then we can use the Dragon's mana to kill us with Frostbite. Hey, thanks for the sub, Captain Trips. Welcome back. It's good to be back. Gazly, thanks for the follow. And Commando Panda, if you're still here, welcome to the channel. I did not have follower notifications on before I started doing Rune Terror. It was a mostly passive thing. While doing magic stuff, I pick up followers a lot quicker than in smaller games like Rune Terror. I added the follower notifications to encourage more people to follow while I was playing that game, because on average I was losing 1,500 to 2,000 followers per month not doing magic content. But notifications kind of offset that a little bit, and they're up there now, and they're not that big of a deal to respond to, so might as well leave them up. They have a third Soaring Thought Thief. They could trade with my Darkos here. I guess I have the dispute to stop that, though. Thanks for the Prime, Turkus. I appreciate that. Welcome to the channel. Depending on what they're playing, I read other people in the Hooglandia community, Jedi. Our kingdom for a fireball, right? I think I'm one for wanting the Storm's Wrath at this point. Keep them off of lands. Mercial and Ezzy, thanks for the follows. Welcome to the channel. One of your finest dragons, please, deck. It's not. That's not a dragon. I think we've died, chat. I think we've died. And again, like, this is why it's important to ask yourself the what happened questions, right? So like, we're gonna lose this match, it looks like, but the first game we had no second color, we cast no spells, and we died. And then this game, not only did we flood out this game, but we flooded out and we didn't draw any of our creature lands while flooding out. So again, like those details of like, so like we lost, but I'm not really inclined to like make changes to my deck as a result of this loss because of the details surrounding it. Like I don't feel like I need to make changes because of the way in which we lost. I think we just play this now so that way it doesn't get counterspelled. So, you know, play around one thing, get got by another. That was obviously a worst case scenario. Because not only was it a piece of removal, but it like stole our thing, so it meant when we top decked the dragon there, they weren't able to attack in. We were, yep. We talked about threats being good against 4 power flyers. That includes our own after it gets stolen from us. Good afternoon, Gunner. Yeah, that sounds fine. Yeah, I mean, like, you're right. I could have technically, like, played another turn and a half against the person that had a bunch of cards in their hand, and there's a small percentage chance that, like, there's a small percentage chance that they had actual nothing, even though they'd missed a bunch of land drops, and the fact that they missed a bunch of land drops implies that their hand was all spells. But you're right, I technically didn't give myself every possible chance I could have taken to win that game there. That was intentional. Spending another 2.5 minutes at a game that's like almost certainly a loss just like isn't a good use of my time. You're right though, if we were playing in a tournament setting, I'd make them click through it and see if they misclick, but this random match here in gold, like, the next 2.5 minutes it's gonna take for me to make them click through and actually kill me, just, like, isn't worthwhile for, like, the 1.5% chance that, like, they have nothing in their hand that we know is all spells. Untapped land! Untapped land! Nailed it. Here's my dragon. It makes a treasure that taps for 2 mana. That sequence is like basically perfect for us. They took the bait at the end of their turn, we spiked the land, we got the dragon with these up. Play Conquer's Death now. Yeah, and like now, and this is why the dragon's absurd in this deck, right? Like, it protects itself on the back of Saw coming the turn it comes down. I'm like, now they just can't win the game from here anymore. I mean, I guess they could have like 6 answers technically, but like, in reality, this game is over. Fredwick, thanks for 39 months. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Yeah, the fact that like they don't make me use a counterspell this turn. Yeah, I agree. I like this card a lot. I think this design is sweet. It feels really powerful. There's good positioning. There's counterplay. I think this card being in the format, the Soul Shatter card is a premium removal spell right now too, which is great. Okay, we have first dragons, chat, but what about second dragons? I don't think there's any reason to play this out now, right? I'll have more mana next turn. Multiverse is Beld. You got it. How many times do I have to teach you this lesson, old man? For the record, I should have played the Bonecrusher Giant out there. The reason why I didn't was because I was eating. So, anybody that's wondering why we didn't play the Bonecrusher Giant after we stepped on their thing, is because I was eating and messed up. Definitely want all the counter spells. They were a Yorion deck, right? Can I not see the count of cards in their deck? I can't see the companion. Were they a Yorion deck? Does anybody know? I think they were a Yorion deck, right? Anybody remember? Pepperidge Farm, are you out there? Were they not Yorion? Alright. So I think against not Yorion, I'll keep both Embercleaves, but against Yorion, I would want to keep both Essence Scatterers. In a lot of instances, you're correct, Mr. Lifeguard. That is often correct to prioritize using your treasures first with your dragon. But when I have 3 counter spells available, I should definitely, it just doesn't matter. Actually just doesn't matter. Huh? Probably keep the cheaper threat. Yeah, no Yorion looks like. I think I'm allergic to blue-white control, chap. Okay, so if they don't have Essence Scatter or Dispute, this Borrower should resolve, which I think I'm into here. They keep mousing over this, but they can't cast that. And scatter. You know, I wonder if the Storm's Fury aren't good in this deck, the Thrinics. I wonder if we should try some of the Snow Draw 3s in this deck. Feels like it's potentially very good. My opponent missed their land drop. It's good for us when we're hitting ours. I think if they cast a draw spell here, I'm going to counter it since they bricked on their land. Definitely not into those. Battle of Fire. What does Battle of Fire and Ice do? I definitely don't want to tap out for Gedwick. I think tapping out for Gedwick sounds like something I'm very much not interested in doing. The snow draw spell is Graven is an instant, which is really appealing. We're already playing a bunch of snow lands. I'm looking to generate card advantage. We really don't have enough things to make Battle of Frost and Fire be good enough. That's really not the case. I'm also like not super interested in tapping out for a 5-mana play. Like, the only reason the dragon is passable as something we're willing to tap out for is because it gives us 2 mana back when it attacks or when it gets targeted by something. Escape Phoenix is a card I could get behind. Escape Phoenix sounds sweet. Ox I could take or leave. Escape Phoenix is something that's sweet to board in against rogues as a threat that they mill you into. I wouldn't mind trying Escape Phoenixes. I think I want to try some of the snow draw spell after this game too. This match. Chat, I believe in your ability to retrain yourself and be decent human beings. Creature lands. Creature lands, creature lands, creature lands. It's just more accurate, in addition to being more inclusive. I think I just take this opportunity to play Dispute. Next turn we could put Embercleave on the creature land, you're not wrong. Man, the fact that this thing attacks for 4 for just 3 mana is so good. I feel like I'm not supposed to blink. We're winning this race, right? I don't think there's any reason to blink and use this. I guess if they have like second shark here, I'm really sad. Huh? So I'm gonna negate here. rather than paying 3 for the dispute, so I can hold up my extra counterspell. And then hopefully they like blink this turn, I negate, they counter my negate, and then I kill them with Embercleave, is the hope. So I negate this, they counter my negate, they die to cleave. Just like we drew it up, chat. Oh wait, they can phase us out. That's rude. That's unfortunate. I forgot that they can phase us out. Well, they can't phase if I stomp Teferi. And then this Embercleave forces them to phase or lose the Teferi, which means they can't shatter or Conquer's Death this turn.
I do love a good puzzle.
It's stomping time.
Don't worry, I'll think of something.
Cleave ho!
Time's up.
Goodbye. Zeus and Hosh Power, thanks for the follows. Welcome to the channel this afternoon. Thanks everybody for out today, by the way. It's great to see over 1,600 people in here. If you're new to the channel, my name's Jeff Hoagland. I stream full-time here on Twitch. Do card games and turn-based strategy games like Magic the Gathering as the majority of my content. I also do some single-player story-driven stuff as well. Usually here 5 days a week during the week. If you're into that sort of thing, make sure you give the channel a follow and stop by again sometime. Thank you, Yeti and Snookums. Welcome. Also have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/Jeff Hoagland, where everything that I stream ends up getting archived. Usually we play 2 or 3 different Magic decks on most days. If you're looking for a good amount of variety in different constructed ideas, it's a great place to poke in for that. We've been playing a ton of Magic since Kaldheim released, all standard constructed. A couple of Phoenix Ash sounds kind of fun in here. I think I like the mix of the rest of this. A couple of those sound good as extra threats as well as things that are good against rogues. We're going to try the Graven Lore. This is like, we were playing Thrix as a way to like have more flying threats, but this to just draw into our best flying threat more often sounds really appealing. Fortune, Glory, thank you for re-upping that prime. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Pretty easy mulligan here to start. It's fine. Fetch an island with this. We drew that, which means I can have this untapped later. Let's mail the Frostbite here in case they play a 2-mana play that I want to kill. Stomp or Behold? Stomp or Behold? I got the 2 copies of Red Cap Melee, which may or may not be right. I have a couple of Soul Sear there as additional instant speed interaction. Mavelek, thank you for the Prime support. I appreciate that. Good afternoon. Now, this is a small downside here. So the way I've elected to sequence my mana means that I can't Frostbite for 3 here on 3. Perhaps I should have Passage on 1, fetching an island because of that. This needs 3 Snow Permanents in play to be able to deal 3. Let's take a little bit of a hit here now. They fortunately can't quite, they can't henge this turn. This is only a 4-popper thing. No play here is absurd for us. Definitely not looking for 2 more lands. Counterspells sound lovely. So gonna go ahead and play out this and fetch up that 3rd snow land. So let's go ahead and do this for 3. Definitely want to just hold up Scatter/Stomp here, as opposed to foretelling this. It is important that I kill the Giant this turn, because next turn they could play Henge, and I don't currently have a counterspell for that. So I think we just take the pass here. I don't want to jam Dragon into chop down mana if I can avoid it, especially when I'm not under any sort of pressure. Just gonna go ahead and fetch and then foretell here. Pass the turn back. I don't think the waiting game is strictly bad for us. Opponent's mana looking a little awkward here. I think I scatter this just for the sake of keeping their henge threats that make henge cheaper out of play. Opponent notably leaving chop down mana up here again. It feels like there's a strong chance they have that card. Huh. Alright, who's got 2 thumbs is looking for a Brazen Borrower. This guy. Oh, you're right. This was a pathway. I thought this was a spell land. That's a good catch. Would indicate they're doing something atypical. I am not making any long-term commitments one way or another, No Spoon. I'm just taking it 1 week at a time. We're playing Magic Arena this week. What next week will bring, I don't know. We'll see. I don't make promises I can't keep. I think we actually keep both of these, right? Because we can use this to kill Rumcloak Giant. I'm planning to do Arena every day this week through Saturday, including Saturday. I'm playing in a tournament on Saturday. What is Rune Tier? Rune Tier patch notes are... Oh, no! Oh, no! I was talking and clicking. I'm going to blame No Spoon on that one. Fuck, the dragon died, so I needed to... Okay, we probably have lost this now because of me talking and clicking. So, the treasures no longer make 2 mana, chat. Is the giant mistake that I have made here, pun intended. Maybe Cleave can drag us kicking and screaming out of this, but... They're showing it that we're flush with bird spells. Yeah, something like that. Hey, Adam, thanks for the 21 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. I am doing well. Thanks for dropping it off when you do. Yeah. It's a pretty big mistake, all things considered. It means I took 7 damage, and it means I'm down a removal spell that I could have used to kill this. Tom Tracy, thank you for the 58 months. It's a real long time. Yeah, I think we easily win this game if I do my things in response to the dragon dying. We would have had enough life total there that I would have been able to attack in with this and cleave and then Brazen Borrower the other one. It just wouldn't have been a big deal at all. Definitely feels like a negate matchup. Oh, I don't have extra Disdainful Strokes in my board. I wonder if that's a mistake. It's probably fine because we have things like Saw coming. I wonder if they have so many expensive cards. I wonder if this is just like a Mystic Dispute matchup for the sake of 3 mana leak. They could also be an Innkeeper deck though still. I think I need to keep at least 6 of these on the off chance they're an Innkeeper deck still. They played a lot of adventure cards. So we get to foretell the Behold on 2, which means if we're going to miss our land drop on 3, we can go ahead and play it for its 2 mana cost and hit some lands here. This archetype's super reasonable, Forky Lived. It's put up a number of results at different first weekend events. If you like this style of deck, this archetype is very reasonable. Yeah, definitely Naya Giants and not... Huh? In. Yeah, step on, Mr. Borrower. It's fine. Hey, thanks for 3/4 of a year, Druxy. Glad the return to Magic's been treating you well. Looking forward to seeing how Felio shakes things up in Runeterra. Me too. If I'm being honest, I'm more looking forward to other balance patches than just balance notes than just Aphelios, I think. My non-giants have died. It's probably the best draw on our deck there. Yeah, we get Runeterra patch notes tomorrow afternoon. This is actually kind of funny. I could technically cleave here. It's not lethal, but like spend 1 mana to put cleave into play with 1 attacking creature is kind of funny. I'm also interested to see what they do with their patch notes, because I feel like what they decide to do with their patch notes, what they change or don't change, Grexy, is pretty indicative of like what their goal for play patterns is. Because like if cards like Lee Sin and Fiora don't change in tomorrow's patch, that basically sends the message loud and clear that like those are the types of play patterns they want in their game, right? Yeah, I think it'll be a pretty big miss by their team if those cards stay how they are. They're definitely part of what pushed me back into Tri-Magic. This is my dragon and my giant sword. See, chat, just cleave. We didn't have any more counter spells in our hand, but we had a way to close the game out a turn sooner. 2 turns sooner. Yeah, we took them from instead of going to 6, they died. Yeah, I plan to go back to doing some Rune Terror regardless. I think my plan is to do like 2 Rune Terror decks per day, like 3 hours of Rune Terror, 3 hours of Magic or so. He's not quite Malevolence. They added a bunch of cards to the game that combo kill with him, and he can combo kill the opponent from 20 life, and he's very difficult to interact with because he gives himself a barrier. This hand good enough. It doesn't have any threats in it, but like it's got lands and spells, and it's got Behold to dig for threats. Might be right to mulligan this, but I'm gonna go ahead and keep it speculatively. Yeah, it's really gross. It's really unfun gameplay. Yeah, he costs 5, but his mana cost is irrelevant. 4, 5, or 6, he's still the same toxic, crappy card. Just prioritize putting snow things into play here. This could be a game, depending on how many more lands we draw, where like Shatterskull Smashing is a spell. Saw it coming sounds great. For their big payoffs. The fact that these foretell cards let you like have an 8-card hand in instance like this is kind of sweet. Yeah, I agree with that, Hidden Flame. I think Aphelios adding more combo potential with that card is going to make it worse than it is already. Am I obligated to counter a giant here? I think I am, right? I think we're just bluffing a counterspell here and then playing Graven Lore. We'll see. They might just jam. We get 9 looks at a Brazen Borrower if they jam something scary though, so that's nice. Yeah, that's fine. Little baby giant's not a big deal. Just a little baby giant, chat. Am I getting rid of all of these? The extra Bonecrusher's probably fine. A lot of their big spells are creatures, so I feel like I need to dig for like a Saw It Coming or a Stroke here. Nice. Okay, so... look at that! With our Adventure and our Foretell, we have a 9-card hand. We'll see if we can manage to not die before we play all of them, but we have a lot of cards here. Yeah, I've liked Graven Lore a lot. It's felt good in almost every deck we put it in. It's not always a Scry 5, it's like a Scry like 2 to 5 usually, if that's still just like a fine rate. Why is Foretell face down? So that way you don't tell your opponent what you're doing with it. They don't want to make you give away information. Think of Foretell. Here's the best way to think about it. Think of Foretell as morph for spells. It's basically what it is. It's basically morph for instants and sorceries. I think I'm low enough life that I want to counter this. I still have Stroke in the tank here. So I get to stomp this, and then Giant blocks this. We're at 6. And then it's gonna come down to, like, can they draw enough to overpower my Stroke before I find another answer? I mean, this is their route to victory, right? Hey, Fane, thank you for the 9 months. I really appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. I already played a land. But another Giant Slayer? They do, yikes. Alright, I guess Faceless Haven is blocking this? Maybe? I like Cleave's been in this deck. They're great. I don't know why people didn't put Embercleave in their red deck to start, but you should. Sure. Like here, right? The difference between Cleave and not is what? It's 5 turns versus 2. Like that's huge. Allow me, alley-oop. Yeah, couple of seasons ago when we were playing before, like people also weren't playing Cleave in that blue red deck for some god awful reason. We technically have them dead on the ground with Cleave plus Faceless Haven as well, but nah, I haven't, LaCarp. I've agreed to play in Magic tournaments for this weekend and the next weekend, so I'm trying to focus on mostly decks that I could be playing in those to find things that I like. We played against Yorion decks yet with this one. Not today, but last time we played it, we did. Will those be streamed? Yep. I'll be streaming my perspective for both of them. Probably on a delay. Definitely on a delay. The second tournament's an F2K tournament, so I think that's just streamers, so that one might not be on a delay. Yeah, Standard's the only format I'm playing, Singer. Don't really have an interest in playing Ura the Gathering. Yeah, I agree, Jake the Man. I think this deck's maybe a little bit of a dog against rogues. I don't know, I haven't played against rogues enough, but this deck feels reasonable against both Adventures and Yorion. It's probably my top contender for the weekend. Big fan of 4/4 Flying Dragons. Basically just like trying to figure out the last couple of details. Feels bad on the draw against rogues. I mean, that's just like Magic a lot of the time. You're not new to the channel, Thorbrand. You've been following the channel since October 29th, 2019. We don't get invited to big official things. Come on now. Come on now. You're not new. Some things don't change. Teach me bounce. Thanks for the follow. Good afternoon. Turn 3/5/5 is pretty good. This matchup's got to be bad, right? Especially on the draw. Maybe it's not too terrible if we can counterspell their turn 3 play. Three mana 5/5s are pretty good, turns out. Even Brazen Borrower's not a very good top deck, because they've got Witches of It in play. I've never done a tournament through Melee. Is it very straightforward? Yeah, it's super straightforward. Their software is very good. It's pretty easy, and I say that as a paper boomer. I don't think we're drawing to anything here, right? Like, yeah, even my adventure cards just like straight brick tier against Witch's Oven. Which, speaking of some of the details surrounding this archetype, one thing that other people are not doing for some reason is people are not playing Soul Sear, and honestly, only playing 2 could be a mistake on my part. This card's so important in the Love Struck Beast matchups. Being able to just like, hey, kill your Love Struck Beast is a big deal. Shredded Sails kills their henges. You're playing 4 spells with Love Struck Beast? Yeah, a lot of people are playing the really awkward, it's the crappy card they're playing. They're playing the snow card that deals 4 because they can't get over their theme. Yeah, and also it kills the Aristocrat Dragon, it kills Wicked Wolf, and it kills the 3/1 white idiot. It kills at instant speed too. Yeah, it works against Wicked Wolf exactly how you want. If they can make it bigger than 5/5, they can save it, but otherwise it kills it. The couple of lanterns I have in my sideboard could probably get cut. There aren't that many Crocs decks in the format, and even the ones that are, I don't think you're that bad against. Chubby, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. I think Cleave's actually one of our better cards in this matchup. It feels like we want to keep them off tempo a little bit and then race them with that. Westlake, thanks for the 25 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Well, I appreciate the sentiment, Kyle. I would like to keep complaining about Arena's economy out of my chat moving forward. It is what it is, and it's not going to change. Cleave is one of our better cards in every matchup, Jeff. Maybe. I think there are certain ones where, like, you're not strictly racing, you're more controlling. We're bottoming the non-land tier with the best chance to try and find land drops. Multiverse being a 4 mana card advantage spell that we can play on turn 3 in a pinch if we're about to miss land drop is really good. Adds a lot of consistency. I'm not playing any sharks. If you're talking about Shark Typhoon, I really wasn't impressed with that card. I think not playing Embercleave is a mistake. No turn 3 play. Well, we can't play our draw spell, but we can deploy a threat at least. Nailed it. Sharks are probably better in exactly the counterspell mirror. Yeah, I agree with that. Cleaves instead of sharks probably make me worse in the blue-red mirror match, which I guess could maybe be something worth considering. Yeah, I mean, my opponent made no plays for the first 3 turns against my counterspell deck, so this game should mostly be done at this point. Hey, Captain Jack, thanks for the follow. Hey, Jim, thanks for the raid. Hope you had a good stream today. Any decks running Vornclicks. Yeah, we spent yesterday with like playing Vornclicks for like 3 hours. Check out my YouTube channel for the replay. Phoenix is good against threats as well as good against control, as well as being good against rogues. Thanks, Jim. Alright, so they're dead to cleave, because that's what this card does. It kills people. I think it really matters, right? Inside of this. Yeah, right? Like, really, really perfect example, right? Instead of flubbing around... Aren't they dead without cleave, or am I missing them? You're missing the fact that they can both make food and gain 2 off of henge. Is what you're missing. Nah, I didn't care, Faye. I'm kind of low on the current Rune Terror format. The way Lee Sin and Fiora even kind of suck the fun out of the gauntlets, because there's no strategy in what I'm banning in the pick ban gauntlet. It's just like, ban the deck that sucks to play against, so we can like play some okay games. Yeah, they were dead because of cleave. I might want a 3rd Disdainful Stroke over this 4th Negate. It's a lot of negates. I think I want more Soul Sears as well. Make some sideboard updates after this game. Yeah, it's exactly correct. The fact that the gauntlets aren't best of 3 means that you basically want to put a polarized deck in so it gets banned. Yeah. So between it being best of 1 and there being a bunch of polarized decks, it removed a lot of the depth that I found interesting. So we've got red, blue, we've got red, second blue, second red. Got all of our colors lined up here nicely. Probably stepping on the goose here on 2. Am I stepping on the goose? We could shred the goose, couldn't we? Is that better? I think I'd rather step on it. Yeah, having an answer rolled up to henge is valuable. Also, getting Bonecrusher played out early like this is also important, because playing Bonecrusher early means that they didn't have an oven yet, so they can't oven my my target. Yeah, we could see turn 4 henge here for sure. Thanks, Fat Nerd. It's good to be back. So we're still a snow permanent short here. Feels like we're just dead. If either of these had been snowlands, we would have been able to frostbite the mammoth and then block frostbite this. But they're just not, so we can't. Oh, I guess we could kill this when they go to enter combat, huh? Alright, if we had an untapped land that doesn't hurt us, Goldspan lets us hold up Saw It Coming. Man, that sucks. I feel like we were so close to turning this around. Brazen Borrower? Brazen Borrower? That land drop miss is probably the end of it here, unfortunately. Well, so, like, the problem is, like, even if they have nothing that turn, I have to play the next turn, finally getting an answer to their thing down, and then I still can't play Dragon and attack with it because of my life total. I'm then on, like, I'm underneath the Abyss. So, like, even if they brick that turn, the odds of winning in the long run are, like, pretty low. So, I don't think I want to add a land, but one question that might be worthwhile to ask ourselves is this deck supposed to be playing copies of Opt? Is that a card we can afford to play? I guess I don't really know what I'd want to cut. I don't really want to go down on lands. We're at 2026 with the 3 Shatterskull Smashing. Do you need 4 shock and 4 stop? Yeah, I think you do too, Mose. I think having lots of ways to kill Innkeeper is very important. Just like Optifine Dragon. Yeah, I think we'd have to, like, give up Graven Lore. I don't know if that's worthwhile. I feel like the non-core cards, like things, I could give up some mix of these. Like this, these feel like the untouchables. I really don't think you want to give up Frostbite. Twitch chat hates beating aggro. Like I really don't understand why you folks think that you are invincible in the aggro decks. You shouldn't respect them. Nah, Negate's pretty busted. Having Negate to protect Goldspan Dragon when they target it with removal is really good. If we lose to aggro, it's just bull, and we're unlucky. Big mood. I think Gadwick's got awful. I think Gadwick's much worse than an instant speed card like this. I have no interest in tapping out for Gadwick. I think if I want a big card advantage spell, it's definitely Graven Lore. Thanks for the resub, totally reasonable. I appreciate the 10 months. My favorite part of every new standard is trying to get some kind of blue-red deck going, right? Hey, Dancy Pants, thanks for the 7 months. Welcome back. I could cut Shatterskull. I could give up an Embercleave. I could give up the Graven Lores. I feel like I would be remiss if I didn't test Opt in this deck. I feel like I would be remiss if I didn't test Opt. I probably don't ever want to draw the second Embercleave, and these Ops mean I'm going to find it a little bit more consistently. Going up 4 Ops and cutting 1 land seems fine, and it's a land at that. I could shove a Graven or 2 in the sideboard, too. 3 is a lot of Mystic Disputes. 4 is also a lot of Soul Sear. How do people have been playing this deck? How do you feel about Storm's Wrath? Has this been a card you think you need? Or with, like, Frostbite, Bonecrusher, and Soul Sear, do we think that's enough? Do I need this cleanup effect? Against the aggro decks? It's like exactly White Weenie where I want this style of effect. Yeah, it feels awkward too, right? Because it, like, kills your dragons. What if we just get lucky against white aggro? I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna put 2 Graven Lores in my sideboard. Yeah, that's been my experience against white aggro too. The hardest games are the ones where they draw the 3/1 that makes itself indestructible. That's definitely reflective of my experience doing that. So we get to be on the play? That's busted. Was it just me, or were those mismatched Disdainful Strokes? Yeah, you need different strokes for different folks. Hey, Draco, thank you for the 21 months. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Trail of Crumbs is actually a pretty big downside to not holding up Negate on 2. I wasn't expecting that one. Maybe I should, out of the Goose decks. Yeah, Crush the Weak could be better than Storm's Wrath if we're looking for a card explicitly for White Weenie. I agree with that. Yeah, not killing Dragon is a big deal. So I actually think it's pretty important we counter or kill this one, because this is going to let them foretell a bunch of cards, which reduces their casting cost. This card's actually pretty neat. I feel like I want to build around this card at some point. Each non-land card in your hand has foretell. Its foretell cost is equal to its mana cost reduced by 2, which is neat. Dream Devourer alongside the blue horse that makes your foretells instant and cheaper actually sounds kind of hot. All right, I'm putting that on the list to build for tomorrow. I don't think we're gonna do another deck today. We're gonna play that tomorrow morning. Use it to ramp into Uge. That's probably one of the things we can do with it, yeah. BT dubs for all of the regular viewers. I'm only taking limited viewer submissions for larger donations these days. But if you find decks that seem sweet and could potentially be competitive, link them to me in the subs Discord or tag me on Twitter if you're not in the subs Discord. I still want to play a range of neat things. I just want to mostly be the one picking them out. This is where the magic happens. It's only natural that we flood out during this game, because if you recall, I just cut a land from my deck. So it's expected that we're going to flood out because I'm down a land than I was in the previous game. It's just how the math works. I mean, I can negate or stroke a saga. Think we just step on the goose and then play Bonecrusher? You should continue holding up Negate off of this. Ooh, that's a punish for using the stroke earlier. Wait, you're racing me? Deal. Are we looking at the same life totals here, friendo? Alright, so I want to use the Fabled Passage before I opt. If I scry a bad card to the bottom, I don't want to shuffle it back in right away. And we're going to passage at some point. That's true. They could have an Ugin in hand that they want to ramp up into. I probably want to murder this, huh? Kill this now before they can draw into their village rights. Gain control of target creature until end of turn. Untap that creature. It gains haste. Add 2 mana of any color. So I think this is fine, right? I guess they could sacrifice it, but I could counter anything that's going to sacrifice it, right? No, I can't, because they could have village rights. If this is land Ugin, they could play Ugin this turn. That's also fine. Alright, so we need to draw Embercleave. Corvald with Goldspan's kind of hot. Alright, so they're also dead to another Goldspan now. We got a few live draws, plus some redraws. Few live draws, plus some redraws. Draw a land. That's where the magic happens. Borrower was also lethal there. I think we're dead at this point, right? This is definitely a matchup where we want Graven Lore out of the sideboard. They're pretty mid-rangey. Want that sweet card advantage. Should have kept the Haven in hindsight, I guess. No, not at all. In consideration for Castle of Interest, no, every non-snow land you play comes at a real cost. I would recommend to the people in chat not making decisions or changing your deck after you get unlucky. You'll be a much better player and deck builder for it. So, like, don't change your mana base because we flooded. Don't look back and go, this card that was definitely right to bottom was wrong to bottom because it was better than the crap we drew that was worse than our average draw. Like, take a deep breath, take a step back. Bonecrusher Giant seems pretty bad against their Oven deck. Doesn't kill a lot of their threats either. Disdainful Stroke's definitely reasonable here. Negate seems fine. So this seems pretty whatever. Definitely in for these to hit our stuff more consistently. Sails to kill their dragon. Maybe. I guess it theoretically kills Oven too. Maybe. The question is, do I throw this face down or do I hold up Negate on 2 against their Trail of Crumbs deck? I think we're supposed to do this, especially if there's a chance we're going to miss a land drop. We hit the land. We'll hold up Negate because we hit the land. Countering Trail has a lot of appeal. Nice. Get to continue holding Negate up now. They were on the draws and Toth. We lost game 1. With the 3 mana counterspell drawn, we definitely just pass holding up all our mana here. This way we can cancel something that we don't want to resolve, or we can just draw 2 if they pass. What kind of instant do they have here in Jund? Just making the food deal. Village rights while we're tapped out? Sure. My draw 2 drew another draw 2, chat. It's my kink. I'm into it. Oh, you know what? I probably should have thrown this over here in the corner. Or thrown Behold in the corner. This deck is looking like mono card draw right now. Yeah, isn't it great? Every day we shuffle in. Do. They are one card away from Croxa coming back. think we're just Gravening this turn. It's the most resource efficient play. Hey, Leaf Blade, thanks for subbing again. I appreciate the 13 months. Welcome back. Not a Fabled Passage. That's good. Goldspan Dragon, eh? Yep. We're actually just keeping all of these. We're gonna give them a bunch more mana here, but gotta kill this dragon. I think I'm into the land, and I definitely want the counterspell to answer the Kroxa or whatever their follow-up threat is here. I guess Brazen Borrower answers the Kroxa in a roundabout way. Yeah, sacking treasures anyway triggers Corvold. Overall, Corvold just says, hey, was something sacrificed? If yes. So they have 4, 5, 6, 7, they have 8 mana left over? Well, they only have 7 mana left over, huh? What if I let this resolve and then just behold? And then plan to bounce it back to their hand? Is that greedy? Might be greedy. They're gonna like play another Goldspan Dragon and punish me. You know, I should bottom this so I don't lose life here. Look at that, chat, just like we drew it up. Would have been a land anyways. They have a Village Rites here. Village Rites would be a little annoying. We lose our threat out of it. Because they Village Rites, I don't have to discard a card though. So that's like an upside. Yeah, so I lose the Borrower, but then I get to play the island. Annoying. They're 2 cards off of escaping that idiot. I assume they're going to jump block here because it gets them closer to Kroxa. Well, I've only used 1 Borrower so far this game, right? So that'll be our answer to the next one. Yep. You can technically like put this up over here. No, I think that covers where companions and stuff go. Where do I put this? Put this under me? No, it covers that. Cover part of their name. Put that right there, right? Seems good.
Done with you.
They've claimed the Firstborn as their last card? Holy shit. Oh, man, that's brutal. It's every bit of the buffalo. Rough. Thanks for the follow, Dead Ranger. Oh, you know what? I think this over here is going to overlap on the deck editor screen, though, right? How is this in here? It's fine. That's fine. See two names. Usually there's only two cards over here anyways. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't really play enough games to really get a feel for anything. I think I want to play some more games with Opt in this later this week for sure. I definitely don't think you can cut the Frostbites. The Graven Lores out of the sideboard seem fine. I've been happy with at least one copy of Cleave. It's possible I want two Cleaves. I think this could help smooth some of the clunkiness that we've had in some of the games. Or like missing a color, gives you more virtual copies of dragons as well. I mean, Kroxa, so like Kroxa just does less than right? Like Kroxa is definitely a good card, but like it's not also ramping. And I think the fact that what Kroxa is doing ends the game as opposed to prolonging it is also goes a long way in terms of making it okay. Like Magic tends to have a lot of garbage time, and Uro's a card that creates more garbage time, whereas Kroxa's a card that kind of does the inverse of that, right? Like it closes games out pretty quickly. Arc V2, thank you very much for the brand new tier 1 sub. I really appreciate the support. Welcome to the channel. At any rate, I think I'm going to go ahead and call that a wrap on Magic stuff for the day.